All right, let's try this again. Comments. Sweet. All right. Let's get everybody get in on this. I've got so much crap on my table. Let's try it again. There we go. All right. Well, it's because we had to switch devices there. You know me, just keeping it lively around here. Hey, hey. All right. So, thanks, y'all. We'll get everybody their blue wrenches eventually. This is the test run. This is for sure the test run, since I'm already goofing. Wonderful. Anyway, what I was trying to say on the first one is, so I was live streaming on Instagram for about the last 2 years or so. I have hours and hours and hours of content on there. Just me jabber-jawing to nobody, just getting notes out. Percussive maintenance. Oh, man. Thanks, Dan. So, and recently Instagram made a change where you need 1,000 followers to even live stream on there. So I said, screw that. We'll try to stream on here more. I'll mushroom cloud this laptop. I swear I'll mushroom cloud it. So in the end, it just means I want more structured streams than I would, right? I want to have more of a structured schedule. I also would like to have more presence in a video, right? I would like a set instead of, just being here. I'd also like, I'd like a little bit more continuity, right? Something I can just look at my notes and just kind of go with, right? To me, it does not matter if anybody's watching. When I have something on my mind and I need to just espouse something, I will do it. Live stream was perfect for that. Hey, what's up? It's good to see a bunch of y'all in here for the first time. So we'll try to keep this going for a little while. But and I've even got some stuff, props ready for things I might want to talk about, just to show you an example of what I used to do on Instagram. So I do, Dan, I do need adult supervision. I promise, all the time. That's why the photographer is watching her show right now. I got unsupervised and got mad at this thing. So my girlfriend's watching her show. So yes, visual aids. It's kind of how I learn. I'm a very visual, tactile learner. But yeah, that's really where I want to get down bare bones. I hate I'm doing this on my phone right now, and it's kind of the first time. I was hoping, because I had kind of learned a little bit from Half-Ass Ready Pops about doing it on the laptop, and I was kind of excited to do that. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I've got to work out some kinks, but that's okay. 7 people already. That's awesome. But anyway, if you are not familiar with things that I do on my channel, I like to talk about things that get my goat. Okay. I really like talking about some nerdy stuff. I love talking about things that are fun. I will teach you. You will learn. Thank you. Thank you. I do need a class. But I talk about a lot of home protection, personal protection, kind of just general situational awareness. I also do a series called Appendix N, where I talk about books. And the books could range from anything from like Dungeons and Dragons to, yeah, exactly. Dungeons and Dragons to Left of Bang or On Killing, right? And those are in the lineup eventually. I like to reread the books before I do it, but some of them don't need it. Some of them are more reference books. Like on YouTube right now, me and one other guy have a video on one book I did, or one book I bought, called 6 Ways In, 12 Ways Out. Very difficult to get that book as far as buying books go, because it is actually an active training manual, but you can get it. That one's awesome. And maybe one day I will do a live just going through things in that book that make sense. But with those things in mind, we're going to try to get this oblong shadow exactly where I want it. With those, with the Appendix N, they are fun. I really love doing them. And but not everybody wants to see me read a book. Most people want the highlights of a book to see if they want to get it. And that's why I do the Appendix N. And I also do just general, like I draw a house on a whiteboard and show you what you need to do with a light. Okay. And go over some principles of things that I know about and things that I've studied. If you don't know, me and Half-Ass Ready recently went to the beach, so I am still like recovering. Okay, I've got the stuck in the house family allergy ick. Oh yeah, whiteboard. Listen, rule. Wait, Pops has got my whiteboard right now. He's holding it hostage, but I'm getting a new one. So yeah, whiteboard is the bomb. I love my whiteboard. But I had my appendix taken out. Oh man, y'all are great. So for the first order of business, it's very important. If y'all don't know, most of you do know, I was in the Marine Corps, and one thing you do in the military is you sit in a chair or on the ground or on a curb or in the sun, rarely in the shade and rarely comfortably, but you sit for many, many hours. And of course, there's a plane. You sit for a long time. So basically what happens is they go, you stand up and tell us about this thing that we all have to learn, right? So it's hey, Corporal, go ahead and teach everybody about disassembly and assembly of the M4 weapon system. Okay, right? And you get up, this is the M4 weapon system. It's got this, blah, 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 and these are all the stats, and then you go through dissing and assing it. So I like to think of live streams and stuff as mini 5-minute, maybe an hour long, 5-minute to an hour long hip pocket classes. And something you all need is a notebook. Specifically, I want to talk about note taking. My profession has me take a lot of notes. I do a lot of writing in all weather. And there is a certain je ne sais quoi about note taking, right? It's not just buying paper, getting a pen, and going forth and taking notes. Yes, it is that simple, but it is not. There are pieces of kit you need. I mean, just things you will need. And there are things that you might not think you needed now, but you're glad you got it. So this is just a little like handy dandy notebook cover from Amazon. I think it's T3 or Tier 3 or something. Yeah, T3 Gear. So he makes this. It's got, big old pocket. It's probably a 7x5 kind of format. It's got a zipper. It is not waterproof, but it is tough enough to hold a notebook with a couple pens and pencils in it. So if you know me, we're gonna go into this a little bit. There is a pen in my pocket most of the time. Pops, there's a pen in his pocket. If you see him, he has a pen on him. He rarely has paper. Skin is paper. All right, skin counts. It's just you need to copy that onto something ASAP because I sweat a lot. It also makes it's hard to write on sometimes. But so inside of my notebook with my outside pen, I have a lead pencil that is sharpened. It can be sharpened by the standard issue flipping knife. Okay, so I can write something if I need to. Pencil's kind of the best way to go most of the time. I like the G2 Pilot pins. They write the best in cold weather. When it's hot, yes, they do ooze sometimes, but if you get the more finer point pins, I can't remember what this one is. This is a, doesn't say. But if you get the more finer point, they don't ooze as much, but the ink is nice. The ink, as long as you let it dry for a second, I mean, not talking, you know, all day. If you blow on it, it will dry and you won't smear it. But, and it writes smooth. It can write upside down for a long time. It's not forever. Yeah, Sharpie's the bomb. And I have a Sharpie in my med kit. Always have Sharpies in there for writing on foreheads and stuff. But something I have added that I have been using. This is a like a carpenter's pencil, grease pencil, mechanic's pencil, mason's pencil kind of thing. So it is a mechanical lead holder. If you were ever in drafting class, you don't have a pencil. You have a lead holder. So if you jack it out, it's got a giant piece of lead in there. What's cool about this pencil, though, it's got a sharpener in it. If I can actually pull the right piece out, it's got a sharpener in the top bit. So I can actually sharpen this pencil with a piece of the pencil. Don't always have to use my knife. Another thing about these pencils, they usually have like a skinnier grip because you can pull this piece off so you can like get in between pieces of pipe or something. It's more for like an engineering, mechanical kind of business, but I like that function. I don't really need it, but I like it. But also it comes with a crap ton of lead that is super big and long, even yellow lead, or it's not even lead. Yeah, it's lead, 2.8 millimeter lead. But it's got yellow and standard black. Thing I like about keeping this in there, not only does it rattle a little bit, I could throw some, you know, cotton or paper towel or something there to keep it quiet, but this is also a straight edge. When you're taking notes, sometimes you have to draw a picture, range card, a diagram of something. If you need to show a part, right? Like I need this part that looks like this, and you can draw it, you know, in almost perfect dimensions. But this is a straight edge as well. All right. It's not, I don't need a ruler if I have a straight edge. Now I have a ruler. It's called your thumb. Measure what an inch is on your body. You will know what an inch is. Most of the time, if you don't need an inch or two, right? An inch or two, because you have 2 inches. If you have 2 of your thumbs, you need a freaking tape measure. So I do have a cheap tape measure that I spray painted so it's not highlighter yellow. So I can keep it in my kit, and I can use that up to, I think that one's a 16-footer or something like that. So, you know, you either need an inch or 2 or 16 feet. That's usually what you need. But it's better to just have something that's a straight edge and it holds on my lead. Get those out of there. In my notebook, I carry extra fire and tape. Gorilla tape, 2-inch Gorilla tape with a Bic lighter. Yep, still works. Took the safety off of it. There you go. The reason I wanted a good notebook cover, not just to hold the items, but to protect my notes from getting bent. This doesn't have like a solid back in it, but you can add one. Cut a piece of styrene. You can buy it at like a craft store, like I think it's 2 millimeter or 1 millimeter styrene, and I can put it in here to make it, you know, like a more of like a clipboard backstop kind of thing. In my notebook, I choose to put Write in the Rain. I want at least one Write in the Rain notebook, not only for the rain, but that's where you put your really important stuff that you need, that you're like writing down on the go. In this book, I've got, I can't show it because it's a bunch of sensitive information. I've got radio frequencies, a map of my area that I drew for like notes, like to know my backstops. You know, if I know I'm going north and the river goes east to west, I know that if I'm going north, I will hit that river, right? I put, you know, draw a backstop map in it. And I can't show the map. Phone numbers that are coded. If you know anything about capturing anything from the enemy, I'm going to call your mom on your cell phone while you're bleeding to death in the woods, right? Especially if you're wearing a blue helmet. Oh, man, a bubble level on the tape measure. That's one more tool. That's freaking awesome. So when you code your phone numbers, Do them all the same way, so you don't have to remember, like, oh, the fourth one down is the second number is the fifth number, and the fifth number is the seventh number. You don't have to remember that. I code mine the same way, right? And I'm not going to tell you my code, but I'll give you some examples. Putting the 4 numbers at the end of your phone number at the front, and then moving the dashes. That's a good way to do it. Makes your area codes look funky. It's easy to break, but it's better than somebody than just going, oh, what the hell is this gibberish? Also, you don't put people's names next to it. You put like what they are to you or a code name, right? You know, like Pops is in here, but Pops isn't Pops. Okay. Now, if you want phone numbers, like I have phone numbers in here that aren't scrambled, that say like, you know, I found my local FBI/SBI building's number. I put that in there and put FBI/SBI next to it. That's hopefully to scare somebody into thinking you're on official business if they find your crap. And I have this thing kind of coded. I put like square footage, some coordinates for stuff. You don't put what the coordinates are to, and you don't mark on your map where the coordinates go. You just write numbers in the margins and hope you can remember it. You have to restudy your notes eventually. And then I put like some navigational stuff, like I put, my local declination and how to, like, if I have to hand this notebook off to somebody, I put next to it what that declination is and how to find it on your map and decipher it from your map and your compass. It's instructions you're handing to somebody. That way I don't have to train literally everyone I'm around to read a map, or like if I'm incapacitated and I need to see a freaking, I need to get them to point A and they're bagging me on a stretcher, I can tell them what page to flip to and be like, hey, listen, dude, all you need to do to navigate here, look at that instruction, look at your map, and tell me what mountain we're near, and maybe I can remember. I also have a second notebook in here. So the second notebook, it's another Right in the Rain, but it could have been cheap. I just got them cheap, but it's a side flipper one. You keep one notebook for you, okay? So I've got my mission critical, pertinent information, right? And then I've got the notebook I can hand off that doesn't have mission critical stuff in it. Also, this is like your daily. You're like the grocery list, okay? The task list for the day. I might also like not even put my name in this one. Okay, it's just a standard OPSEC thing for me, but I want a notebook and an extra writing utensil to hand off. Be like, hey, listen, we're going over something important. Write down on this page, rip it out, put it in your pocket, take it with you, right? Yep. One page shackles. Yep, you're right. But I really like this notebook cover. I really haven't been using it very long, but what do you use it for other than writing in? So for now, it's worked pretty good. It hasn't annoyed me yet to make me get a new one, other than it being a little floppy. But I was tired of putting a notebook in something and getting the binding bent, and I was just tired of that. And I didn't want, and I like these. You can rip the pages out easier. It's just, how my brain works. So while with your note taking, there are things you need to practice. You need to practice a way to take notes that makes sense to you. I know that sounds super obvious, but when like you haven't, a lot of people haven't been to a class in a while, right? If you haven't taken a college course in the last 10 years, 5 years, doesn't matter. You're going to kind of not be efficient with your note taking. Header, bullet point, what we talked about. Header, bullet point, what we talked about. And then like drawing stuff in the margins and doodling and all that crap. You're very unorganized when you start note taking again. I try to speak in headers and I try to go over the headers again. My brain thinks like an outline of a book. It's also a flow chart. If this, then this. But if you look at any of my videos, I go over the main points initially. I go over them one by one, and then at the end, I go over all of them again. So it's repeating the things to you in your notes, right? What is the most important thing? And sometimes, like me, I write really slow. So I might have to literally sit there and write the most important thing I think is on the page and research the rest later. Yeah, right. Thank you. And yeah. So I just did a video on brevity codes. The children, it's really easy. I've seen it where a lot of teachers, they use like modern pop culture as attention getters, right? So think of whatever rap song or whatever, they'll go, everybody's hands go, and then all the kids say up, and they're like, all right, listen, you know, you're, when you're writing notes, you're doing that to yourself, right? I don't keep a highlighter in here, but I know that in my notes on the margins, if it has a star next to it, that's important to me. If it has a square next to it, that is something else. So I use stars, squares, triangles, and I don't do circles because there's too many circles on the page already. But if it's extra special or if it's extra different, I write it going from the right edge in. And that's, you know, not backwards or anything, but I you know, tab it over is what I do. Your notes, think about your notes. If you wrote the notes of what you needed to today and you put that notebook away and you don't see it for 6 months, can you pick up that notebook and know what you were saying? We're not writing in the field. We're not writing stuff for a test on Friday. We're writing stuff for your brain later after stressful events, after a shooting, after, you know, 3 weeks in a field exercise, anything like that. I mean, your notes are going to tell the story. And if you can't, and if you think you're going to remember something from 3 weeks ago, good luck. I couldn't even remember what I had for lunch today. I'm pretty sure there was bologna involved, but you know, that's a context clue. Thank you, airplane. So you need to work on, like, don't worry about the gear. Go. Make sure you're right. Yeah. And so rule, can I like do that? Show it on stage. Sure. There we go. Rule. Hey, we learned something on the phone. Rule says, you know, make sure you write where you can read it. My handwriting is god awful. So I have to slow down even more than my slow reading or well, I read slow too, but my slow writing to make it more legible. My handwriting is absolutely terrible. And that kind of stuff is very important for if you need to hand the notes off, right? It's not just going to be me reading my, you know, my Cyrillic, right? It's going to be someone else reading it maybe. If you're writing an intelligence report for someone, you are not going to read it again. You're going to hand it off and someone else is going to read it and they have to decipher. You have to use proper grammar and English along with proper handwriting for them to get what you're saying. And in the military, you can write some intel and nobody's going to read it. But you have to put that effort in because you might give something crucial. Especially with your field notes. All right. And I have my my Spirit Systems chest rig. Res doctors and cops. Bad dude. Doctors. I swear my last doctor, I was like, dude, do you need to type this? I think this is important. Yeah. And it's always the people who write the most vital information. It's because there's so much else going on. It's because, you know, think about cops too, man. They're trying to like talk to a person, ask questions, write something in their hand, and try to make it all one picture at the end. It's awful. So your field notes, for me, when I have my chest rig on, there is a notebook and 2 pens in there and a Sharpie for notes. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a security halt and somebody's like, hey, we need to take this whatever to this azimuth, and I'm like, I'm not going to remember this in 5 minutes. When I look down at my compass again, write it, right? And if I need to rip that page out and put it, like, shove it in my hat so I remember it's like, put it in my line of sight, I'll do it. Another thing about note taking is where to store the paper, right? The wrist coaches from football, right? The big, like, sweatband ones that have the Velcro. I bought one for my motorcycle, so I didn't have to pull my phone out and stop all the time to get directions, because I was in a place I didn't really know very well. I wrote my backstops, my roads, like, hey, turn right onto Highway 220, turn left when you get to Route 7, make a right by the big lake, go straight past the railroad tracks, that kind of stuff. And I had multiple pages. I could flip it, right? And I kept a little, like, golf pencil in there so I could write more if I needed more. But there's tactical wrist coaches. There's all kinds of crazy stuff now. I think that like the access to certain notes is very vital. And if you have to pull open your chest rig, flip to the page, right? Like, another thing on my notebooks, is the black, like, paper clips, the bendy paper clips, putting that on my last page so I can just flip it open with one hand and find my last thing I wrote. Dan does right. He looks at the paper until the words form out of fear. I like that. Rule. That's awesome. So having access to, like, your tactical notes, like your on the run notes, and then having mission critical security halt stuff. I was looking at Battleboard. Battleboard makes some of the best, like, map stuff known to man. I literally just need a map pouch and this thing. I don't need a big old thing in my backpack. And honestly, I wish I had a smaller map. You know, that's another thing I'm working on, getting more maps. Your notes should never, ever, ever be separated from where they go, right? My notebooks, the notebook that is in here is to this. The notebook in my chest rig is to my chest rig. The notebook in my wrist coach, it's one page. I'm not cramming extra crap in there. If I need more notes, I need to take more notes and figure out how to translate it to this. That piece of paper doesn't come out unless it's going in here or getting destroyed. I know I'm kind of like going off into the nerd weeds on note taking, but it is so vital. The tactical side of the house, vital, absolutely vital. You can't have an iPad. If you go up in my wood line here and you turn your iPad on, you're catching a round. All right, I ain't messing around. But if you're sitting in your little foxhole, throw your poncho over you with your red light, write something down, fine. The old school ways still work, and they're still here. The technology just fails. It can fail so easily. Yes, that iPad might be bomb-proof with that OtterBox on it. And yes, you might have a 10 gajillion milliamp battery to help power this thing. I hope your charger doesn't break. I hope you don't have to ford a river. I hope you don't have to learn how to, make your backpack a flotation device with your waterproof bag that I know you have, right? And Faraday bags and having all the crap to, like, keep you safe in a tactical environment. Relying on that is not what I need. Relying on a piece of paper while I'm in the woods performing a field training exercise or pursuing someone. I track and I hunt and I do all that stuff. I need stuff on the go. I don't want to lose time on that deer I shot. All right. But I also don't want to get lost. I want to be like, all right, hey, we passed that freaking stump again. And that's where we need to go. So I keep a hairband on my notepads so I can store loose papers until I can transfer them over. My man, I'm going to do that right now. In my B&E bag, my lockpick break it into shit bag, I keep hair ties. I'm going to do that here in a minute. That's freaking awesome. All right. Used to use Commander's arm board, alcohol pens, and mini chem lights for notes in the field. Yes. I love the mini chem lights, and I'm glad you brought that up because, man, do I have something for you. So we're used to like the 4-inch chem lights and the little like 2-inch like room clearing chem lights in my kit. Now, after being in kind of the realm of like surreptitious CIA stuff, night fishing with a bobber, I found 2 different methods of lighting them. One of them is electronic. It uses a little post battery, and it's about the size of a 2-inch glow stick, and they are bright. I keep one of those in my admin pocket, like the powered ones, but I also keep a 2-inch big one in there. But they make like, I think they're 2 millimeters wide and maybe like 5, they're like an inch long. Yeah, maybe about an inch long. Little tiny glow sticks, and they are bright enough to read with. And I keep one of those in every pocket, so I can light that pocket up with a really cheap. You can get like 100 of them on eBay for nothing. Tic Tac container hold about 15. Yeah. And one thing I did for a bunch of my friends on my team, on my little training team, is the vinyl like squeezing coin pouches. I put like 10 of those little 2-inch things in there and put a piece of 550 cord through it. And I said, put that in a pocket. That way they have some to distribute. It's more for room clearing, but it's really for anything. Like you can, if you have that, I keep those in like the top, like Claymore pouch of my bag. Yeah. And I gave Half-Ass Ready one. They're freaking awesome. And having just like a glow stick for now, like if I need light right now, but I don't need my flashlight, cracking one of those and dumping that thing in that little kangaroo pouch, you're like, crap, you can just put an index card in there and lean it up against the wall of the pocket and read it looking down. And the only light is like here. So if you have your hat in your hands, you can read that without giving off too much light. Those little glow sticks are the bomb. And I actually have a couple in this front little Velcro pouch for this, but I want to get the Velcro like chem light holder. That's what I need. Still a work in progress. Most of everything I have is a work in progress. But the tactical side of the house requires note taking, and it requires good note taking. You don't know when you take a note when it's going to be an intel opportunity. It's kind of a big switch I've been doing lately is just learning how to scout, learning how to just get out there and gather good information. Like I don't need to tell everybody, G&G, hey. G&G's in the house, everybody. Grit and Grace, they're awesome. You don't know when it's going to turn into an intel report. Your route you went to something might be the only safe route. Now, should you write the route out in its in everything? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not in your tactical situation. I'm not in your realm for that. When your notes become that, you will know, right? When you do a salute report on an enemy unit, all right, that's an intel report. You might need to just do that on a separate page. If you're doing static reconnaissance, like a sniper would, having 3 notebooks, one for vehicles, one for people, and one for everything else can really do it. For every page, you might have a whole page on one person and a half page on one person, right? When you're developing a target package for an area. The vehicles, like you can fill up a whole page just describing a vehicle. What are the bumper stickers on the back? Where's the license plate? How many occupants were there? What color is it? What condition is the vehicle in? What is the vehicle, if you know? Was there anything noticeable? Were the rear tires bald? Were there chrome rims on it? Like you could fill up a page in a notebook. So having extra notebooks means that one can get taped shut and thrown deep in the bag, and then you pull the new one out, right? So you're going to have your own SOP for note taking. And what a absolutely boring thing to talk about on the first stream, right? But it is it's one of the most important things, I think, in a tactical environment, right? Taking notes, all right? Most y'all are homesteaders, right? Do you have like the family Bible? Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, dog. Scaring off the beasties. Do you have your daily ledger? What you did today? All right. It's not a journal. It's, hey, I pulled 7 tomatoes out of the garden today. I canned 3 quarts of beans, and Bessie gave a gallon of milk. All right. The daily ledger is your notes. So it needs to stay in the same place. You need to make a habit of going to it every day and transferring the notes from your notebook that you keep in your pocket, because I know you're a good human, right? And making sure those notes get transferred over properly. When you start tracking things, I'll put this back into a Dungeons and Dragons thing, all right? In Dungeons and Dragons, right, you level up, right? And a badger's in the chicken coop. Yeah. So in Dungeons and Dragons, your character levels up, right? You go from level 1 to whatever. Well, how much time passed there? You really don't know until you really keep track, right? You don't know how many tomatoes you actually got out of your garden. You're just guessing, right? Until you write down the number, and then you find out, wow, I was really overselling how many tomatoes I grew. The badger tried again today. No badgers. I'm taking them out. I'm putting a hit on the badger. Yeah, we don't have badgers down here. I ain't gonna worry about that. We got raccoons. They love getting in there, and foxes. Lots of foxes. Good God, I've got 3 foxes like in my immediate area right now. A gray one and 2 red ones. So I know. Oh, badger is the goat. Never mind. I forgot about that. That was funny talking about that the other night. I was also very inebriated when we were talking about that. Genesis. We eat goat. I don't know if we can eat badger. He might be a little sour. But yeah, so beginner kit for note taking. Get a Write in the Rain notebook, grab a pack of Pilot G2s and a box of pencils. A box of pencils. Sharpen them all however you want. I don't care. And throw them in every backpack, drawer, notebook carrier. Duct tape one to something. Have them everywhere. Tie one on a string from the barn door. Have a pencil everywhere, because you can always go take that pencil, and if you still haven't used all your box of pencils, you can replace it. Right? We got to make a note. So when you are note taking with your beginner kit, make it a habit. Make it a habit of making a note. I use the notes on my phone. I use all the time, and it drives me nuts. It's usually the thing that's like one pocket away and one item. But if I keep a notebook in my truck, like in my glove box, or in my center console for writing down like license plates if I get into an accident or something. And there's literally a pen taped to it, so I can go rip. Need that plate, bang, right? And then there's another pen in there. So the utilization of everything is on you, right? And apparently it takes 21 days to make a habit. So get started now, and this 21 days will go by really quick, and you'll actually get really used to it. For me, a lot of my notes are daily journaling. I've been slacking on it the last couple months. I've gotten out of the habit because my schedule's just been so chaotic. But I have so many daily journals about like what I'm thinking about, what my dreams were last night. I have so many about my dreams. But, hey, this is an interaction I had today about this thing, and I want to research it, right? It's usually a lot of stuff I want to research, like, hey, go Google this later and see what you can find. Or or having a a list of things that that is like, hey, this is like my 7-week plan for this thing. Like I need to save this much money for a new backpack. How are we going to do that? Right. And that's my daily journaling. I say daily journaling. It's not always daily, but I do it pretty often. Do your journaling. Do your journaling for things that matter to you. Don't do it just to do it, because that'll get boring really quick and you won't do it much longer. When you have something to write, write. Give it a chance. Give it a chance if you're not already doing it. Daily journaling is very healing as well. I'm not the like super mental health guy or anything, but daily journaling really helped me in life. I mean, I've been doing it for years and years now. It just got really intense when I was in the military. I did a lot of journaling in the military, mainly because I had a lot of time sitting on my butt all the time, right? Please do. And your daily journal could be transferred over to your daily, your farm ledger. It's, you don't know until you know. And then when you keep track of it and you do your monthly audit, I do every other month I audit my notes. So I go through them, get rid of stuff I don't need. I do a ton of note to self too. Yeah. And if I don't write it down, it's not a note to me. It's a note to past me. It's note to future me. But you just don't know until you keep track, and you can actually derive a lot of data, like a dope chart. I mean, it's like a dope chart for life. All right. A dope is data on previous engagement for snipers. Okay. Like, hey, my rifle shoots a little low left on cold bore. I know that because that's my dope. Or I know my rifle shoots about 1 mil low at whatever distance. Right. So that's your dope. But you can get a farm dope. The bigger the notebook, the more you can write, but the harder it is to carry around and do something. Think about a notebook like me. I wear a lot of shirts with pockets. Take the average size of one of your pockets, like this shirt, I have to fold this down to put something in that pocket. But a little tiny notebook will fit in there. For your beginner kit, get the Field Notes books. Field Notes are really good. They're really good paper. They're very high quality. They're very high quality, and they're cheap for what they are. They're really cheap. I have whiteboards even in the barn to keep track of feed and supplement levels. I keep track of animal meds that way too. Good. Yeah, whiteboards are my best friend. I love whiteboards. I have done stuff on whiteboards and then taken a picture of the whiteboard and printed out that picture, and that it goes into my notes. Whiteboards are the bomb. It's also a great way, you can do multiple colors and whatever. If you need to explain something to someone else, having a whiteboard nearby just helps. I'm like a, hold on, let me draw it for you kind of dude, and I'll draw it. That's just me. Yep. Dope card stays taped to the rifle sling. Yep. And I got a new rifle, so I got to do a new dope chart. So, well, it's newish. I've only shot a little bit, but we're working on the dope on that thing. So while I have y'all, I did want to show another prop. Any questions on note taking, please give them. I will answer them. Yeah. All right. We're tidying up on note taking. Take questions on it, but we're moving to the next thing. As most of y'all prepping folk know, prepping and bushcraft meet right here in the middle. All right. It's a Venn diagram. People who are into bushcrafting, people who are into prepping. There is a big middle section. I got a new toy. Oh, I got a new toy. I did get a new toy. I got the Pathfinder Bush Pot. Finally. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. And my other Pathfinder shit is in here. Weird. So if you don't know, note to self. Please bring crayons. Listen, the yellow ones might not be banana, but they're still my favorite. So Self-Reliance Outfitters is, yeah, me too. Oh God, no, oh no, oh no. I banned my dad. Oh God. How do I unban him? Oh, what have I done? That's what happens when you got fat fingers. Yes. Oh no. I might have just screwed up his night, man. He's gonna think I'm mad at him. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to call him later and tell him I didn't mean to hi-hat him like that. Crap. Crap! I don't know what I've done. Poor guy. Oh well, he can get back drinking beer, I guess. Yep, I did mess up now. I can take him. I ain't scared of him. Make a fingerprint the next day. I'm going to try not to ban any of the rest of y'all. When you do it on your phone, when you want to like highlight somebody's thing, the ban thing is right underneath it. So you know for next time. Anyway, Self-Reliance Outfitters. This is their cup. As you can see, it's well used. This is the old one. It's got the small wings on it. But man, their cups are the bomb. I need to actually wash this a little better. But boiling water in this, making tea and all that stuff is what I do. And this is 32. No, it's not 32 ounces. What the hell is this? 25 ounces. 25 fluid ounces. But the Bush Pot is 64, I believe. Yeah, 64. 64 fluid ounces. It also came with a little like wood stove for it. It's got the pour spout. It's got the big handles on the back. I'm pretty happy with this. Lord. you tell him I did it on purpose. You tell him. I don't care. Tell him come over here and fight me about it. I'm limber today. I drank a gallon of water today. I'm ready. Poor guy. Of course, he had to be the one to suffer for it. At least I can call him after and tell him it was at least funny. But so this one's got the bail, the big bails. It's got the big hanging ring on top and a pour spout. Really like the Bush Pot. I have no idea what I'm going to do in it yet. I kind of want to do that. I'm very well hydrated. I think one of the first things I want to do in this though is get the little griddle thing for the bottom and make a biscuit in it. Use it as an oven. I think that's the filtered through coffee ground. Yeah, listen, there was water in there. It's okay. There was water in the cup. That's going to be my science for later anyway. But so I don't know when I'll be bringing this out. I bring this camping with me everywhere. Because my Self-Reliance Outfitters bottle fits in it, but a Nalgene will fit in it too. So if I go camping or go hiking or something and I have something with cup holders, it usually has two. I put one with this and the Nalgene so it doesn't make a lot of noise. And I have the other one with my Self-Reliance Outfitters and possibly another cup because I have two of these. You wired if I drink too much coffee. It's all about overcoming. Okay. You drink enough caffeine in life. It's a basic level of maintenance after that. That's before noon. Oh man. Dude. Man, I'm tore up about banning my dad. I'm trying to see if there's anything I could do for the poor guy. And I can't give any of y'all blue wrenches to bring him back till I'm done. Oh, he can still watch. He just can't post. Okay. Poor guy. Poor guy, man. I'll let him be mad at me. It'll be all right. I left a bunch of beer at his house, so he better not be that mad. But I always bring this cup because I always want an option to boil water. And I hate making tea in like the little plastic cups that come in mess kits and crap. It just you don't get a lot of tea and it's a mess. But I can use this on a gas stove, a fire, or whatever, which I clearly use it on fire. I love making tea. I love making tea while I'm camping. I rarely drink tea unless I'm hiking. Like it's just good energy boost. Or I'll do hot chocolate and Folgers instant coffee. That is the bomb. That is probably my go-to hiking energy drink. So I just bring this everywhere, and it has a lot of cool features. It's got strainer holes in the lid. It's got holes in the cup and this, so you can actually, it has a thing that holds the Lord. Incoming. He don't live far. He better get here quick. Y'all might be able to see it. Be 2 hits. It'll be a lot more than 2. He's a tough guy. But I think I can get the old leg sweep on him. If I get him on the ground, it's all over. He doesn't know any jujitsu. Yeah, so the Land of Lakes hot chocolate, the packs, by themselves, they're awesome, and they come in 100 different flavors. I usually bring like a really good chocolate one, a mint one, and a white chocolate, because there's other people they might want one too. She lost me at tea. Well, so the reason tea, I have a reason. I bring tea and coffee. Oh, he'll text me here in a minute. But the reason I bring tea and coffee is I usually have my lady with me, and she might want some tea. But also, man, tea, when it cools down, is so much better. Like while you're walking, right? I don't want to drink hot stuff. Like if I have to get moving, I can take this cup, put it in whatever water source I got the water out of, like a stream, cool it down, and I don't have to juggle a hot cup while I'm going. Coffee, when you cool it down and you're not like drinking iced coffee, which I do not like, but it's cold coffee. No cold coffee. There is a reason for tea, because we don't drink cold coffee. I'm not going to sit here and make a fire every 10 minutes to heat it up. But that witch's brew is what some people call it for the hot chocolate and the coffee. That is like jet fuel. Also, you can get like some spicy teas. If there is no reason for tea, don't drink tea. Get tea back. Hey, Ma. He had to go get the other phone. Come talk crap. So tea. Oh, hey, listen. He brought Mama in on board now. I can't fight Mom. All right. He's hiding behind my mom right now. I love my mom, dude. You can't play with me. But hey. So the when you get into like the crazy spicy teas, like they're not like fruit flavored, like oolong tea, it's the bomb. Like when you're Mrs. Half-Ass Ready, when it's dry out, you're hiking through something, man, having some like tea and a honey pack from Bojangles, that is like awesome medicine for your throat. Oolong tea, especially. Oolong is an aged tea, and it's like drinking black pepper. It's freaking pore opening, but it's good. I really like it. So when you make hot chocolate or coffee in this, it's harder to clean. Tea, shit. Tea don't do nothing to it. But also, tea comes in bags, and if you have one of the like dipper things, you can just have a bag of tea, and you don't have to get like crazy with the coffee making that I see people do. Just hot water with some spruce needles. I've done it. I don't mind it. Yeah. Hey, well, I kind of like pine tea. It's different. It's very different. I wanted to make the pine like soda people do with the sugar and water with pine needles in a bottle. I've always thought that was neat. So Yeah, that's why I bring tea. I used to just bring coffee, and I got so sick of being like, fuck, we're on, we got to go pack up my stove and everything. And then I'm like drinking like lukewarm coffee in 20 minutes. Like, no, I ain't doing that. Now, the hot chocolate, though, when it starts cooling down a little bit, it congeals inside the coffee. You're playing chemistry, and I'm not an alchemist. All right. I don't do that. But the tea's just easier to clean. It's got so many reasons for me why I choose tea, but it's definitely not to appear more manly. I'll tell you that. Yeah, no on the lukewarm coffee. No, thank you. It's either as hot as I like it or it's trash. Yeah. Unless you're half-ass ready. He likes his bubbling, nuclear bubbling. I'm pretty sure you could like redo asphalt with how hot his coffee is. It's pretty wild. Soup, watching him eat soup is like, you have calluses in your mouth, dude. What? But another thing I want to make in this, by the way, ooh, tea, hot chocolate, Bud Light. Nice. Might as well be Bud Light. Listen, adding a big shot of sugar in like filling. So when I do the witch's brew for energy, it's like this much water in this thing. It's like an espresso shot that I don't have to make espresso for. Folgers instant coffee. And if you want even more, like if you want to stand a fork up in that with all the sugar and whatever's in the hot chocolate and the Folgers instant coffee, you can get the extra strength instant Folgers and put two of them in there. And that stuff's going to grab your face, try to pull you into the cup. That stuff's pretty wild. I've done that a couple times on like big rucks, like doing like 14 kilometers. It's like, you need something for that third of the way stop. Like, all right, we need to step this up a little bit, get that speedo cranked up. Good golly. Oh, next to an aircraft carrier, I swear to God. All right. But one thing I have been wanting to make in this is do like a squirrel stew. Just eat espresso beans instead. True. I'm not always wanting to like eat coffee beans. That sounds like a lot more problems later and decreasing the amount of toilet paper I have than actually drinking coffee. I had an ulcer in the Marine Corps, so my body just like, if you drink so much, it's tactical crotch hammock, my man. But I do want to make like a squirrel stew or something in this, like shoot a squirrel, skin it, and keep some like carrots or something in my bag. But I do want to bake a biscuit. I think that would be cool to bake a biscuit in this, where you pile up the coals under it here, and it's like a little grate across, and then you just put a little pile of dough on it, close it up. Doesn't even have to be that tight. But I've been wanting one of these forever. I just have not been wanting to carry it around, and most of my system will work in this. It's just gonna be loud. I'm gonna have to cram like the cleaning stuff in there with it to like quiet it down, like a bandana and a scoring pad or something. But yeah, I dig the bushcraft style stuff, and Half-Ass Ready can tell you I practice making fires more than anything else. I want to be able to make a fire when I want a fire, and if you're gonna make a fire, might as well make coffee. Don't mind it. Building fires is a definite skill that people need to sharpen up on. I've like handed my buddies campfire coffee it's got that nice aromatic smoky flavor. And we don't have to make it all special like some of these people who bring like presses and stuff into the woods. But I love being able to share coffee and stuff with people on the trail. I think that's a very old school way of meeting people and a way of trading coffee, tobacco, things of that nature. The aspect of a relationship with people, like red oak. All right. all right, I could try that. But having, so you know when you like meet somebody at the grocery store, right? And it's like somebody your significant other knows, and you're just standing there like all awkward, and they're going like, "Hey, this is my husband," and you're like, "Hi." You're gonna forget that person ever existed, right? You didn't find any common ground. They know your significant other. Well, the other side of the coin is remember that guy we met that gave you a cigar at John's wedding? Be like, oh, you mean Joe? Joe's the bomb. Me and Joe shared a cigar together, and we drank like 100 cases of beer that night. You know that it's a bridge to furthering, you know, up the social ladder. A bridge and a ladder. Weird. But all right. So ooh, what is the best flavor? Best flavor from the smoke cooks. Oh, yeah. 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 And and you kind of earn it. It's not coming out of the Keurig, you know, you kind of earn it. You earn anything. I don't care if it's on a gas stove or a fire, like you're out in the woods squatting over it, you earned it. It's like eating crab legs. It's the crab legs of coffee. But we're over an hour. It's about as much as I wanted to do. So I want to do this more. I'm going to figure out the laptop after I unban Half-S Ready. So anybody who's new here, go look at some of my old videos and get a feel for where we're at. It's not always going to be bushcrafty stuff. A lot of the times it's going to be the nerdy side of the house, right? I like training the stuff nobody likes to train, because if I'm good at it, somebody might listen to me if they like me, right? I want to be good at land nav because my buddies need to be good at land nav, and if I'm the only one willing to learn it, maybe I can make it fun for them. My train keeps going, right? I bust down a barrier and it keeps going. I really never sit still on a topic. That's part of being like ADHD, is just not wanting to stick on one island. I island hop and try to link them all together. So just, you know, I'm not keeping any cards close to my chest. I will talk about anything and I will teach anything, regardless of what it is. As long as I am somewhat familiar, I can get more familiar. Easy enough. And I've dabbled in so many freaking hobbies and tasks that it's probably unhealthy. It's probably unhealthy. I flew a kite at the beach last week because I love flying kites, and I had to go buy a kite. I have kites, but I didn't bring a kite, so I had to go buy a new kite. I love flying kites. That's just weird, and that's just me. But everybody, thank you for stopping by. Please go hug your families. Hug your families. Find out what's kicking your ass. Kick its ass first. All right. And stay safe. Good night, everybody.